Hey everyone, and welcome to my page. Welcome to John Mayfield's page, and this is day 3 of mental health. It was mental health day on Sunday, but I've carried it through for the whole of the week. And today we're looking at the words that you use, and I've forgotten what it says. How what you say can keep you where you are. So how what you say can keep you where you are. What do you say about yourself? How do you talk about yourself? What words do you use? What words, do you use in a combination to maybe either tell people about yourself, or, maybe you're not having such a good day. What words do you use? Even if you're having a good day, what words do you use? Because the language that we use in daily life can keep us stuck. It can keep us stuck in a place where we don't want to be. It can stop us from moving forward, and it can give us that feeling of not being able to move on. It can give us that sense of wondering, hey Chris, good morning, and good morning. I keep saying that, I keep saying good morning and it's not. I said it yesterday. So hi Chris, good evening. I'm in a world of my own most of the time, that, those of you that know me. But today we're talking about how your words can affect you and stop you moving on, stop you moving forward. So we are talking about mental health for them that know me, coming on here for other things. So it's mental health this week. Hey Dawn, nice to see you. So think about some of the words that you use, and what words can you pop into the comments. Hey Dart, what words can you pop into the comments that you think might be holding you back? Well, how do you speak about certain things? How do you speak about yourself? How do you speak about your mental health conditions or other conditions that you might have going on in your life? Thank you, Chris. That's a lovely thing to say. I know that people often say that they're stuck. Oh, I'm stuck. I can't do anything. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I can't move forward. So stuck is a word that holds you in a place and stops you moving forward. Struggling is another one. They're all S's, struggling. So people will often say, oh, I'm struggling. I can't do this and I'm struggling. People say that. Hey, Karen. So what words do you use? What words keep you stuck in your life? Hi, Amy. I'm doing good. Thank you, Amy. I hope you are too. So we're talking about mental health. This is day 3 of Mental Health Week, and we are talking about the words that you use can keep you stuck. I say I'm going backwards, says Dot. Yeah, so, that's a really good one. Good one to get rid of, let me say. Hey, Judy. So does anybody else share words that they use? Fear and anxiety of change for me. I got an earache then, sorry. Fear and anxiety. So you speak about yourself as having a fear, and you speak about yourself as having anxiety. Bambi's being stagnant, stuck, struggling, all those S's coming out. Glad to hear that. I'm doing okay as well. That's good, Amy. So pleased for you. Feeling lost, says Karen. So all of these words that you're saying are describing you and how you feel, obviously. Procrastinating on doing things. Yes, we don't need to procrastinate, do we really? But so feeling lost, feeling stuck, procrastinating, stagnant, stuck, and all the others that you've said, feeling lost, all those fear and anxiety, all those words are the words that you feel, but they're the words that will keep you where you are. So what you feel about yourself will keep you in the place that you are exactly now. Because if you start making changes, if you start saying that I'm happy to be where I am and doing what I'm doing, you will soon begin to notice that the words that you use now will start to go out of your vocabulary, because you will start to feel different things happening in your life. You will begin to feel yourself, notice yourself starting to move forward. So if you can, I don't know if any of you were here on Monday, but and yesterday, we're talking about being grateful for everything that we've got. So being grateful for everything, regardless of whether it's good, bad, or ugly, or beautiful, it doesn't matter. It's all something that keeps you where you are. It's all the words that are keeping you where you are. And the only way to help yourself to move forward is to begin to change the words that you're using. So, for example, some people might say the word stagnant, and I would say plateau. I would say I'm on a plateau, because that gives you more of a hovering feeling as opposed to being stagnant, stuck. Not, it's like still water and it gets all smelly, isn't it? Whereby if you're on a plateau, you're in a place where you're ready to move forward. Chris says, I did make a big change last week and ended my relationship. That was no longer serving me and was causing me stress. Well done you, Chris. Yes. Well done you. And you're happy to have done that. Well done. Did you end a relationship as well, Karen? Wow. Yes, all this stuff that doesn't serve you. No wonder you're feeling lost. So you're going to find yourself. So I would be saying to you people, if you was on one of my groups or working with me in the Realign to Your True Self sessions that I do, I would be saying to you people, take the words that you use now and flip them. Oh, Sammy, I love that. Sammy says, I've now started doing art in college. I'm so happy. Oh, that's amazing, Sammy. Because you were a stuck person at one point, wasn't you? Yes. So I would be flipping it. So instead of procrastinating, so if you procrastinate, if you think you procrastinate, if you use that word, you could just say I'm thinking about it, or I'm getting ready to start, or I will be starting it today. Make a concerted effort to say I am starting it today. So take out the procrastination word, then it's likely to take procrastinating away from you. So if you're stagnant, just say I'm on a plateau. I'm just on a plateau. Fear is another one. So being in fear of something, living in fear of something, I would just say to myself that I'm happy to be in this space. And because I talk to the universe, I would say, hey universe, show me what's next, but I'm happy to be in this space that I'm in. And when you start to change the words that you use, when you start to embrace the words that you use, when you start to flip the words that you use, even if you don't feel it, flip it, and just flip it for a week and see what happens. Because remember, people talk about the law of attraction. So what you give out there, you get coming back. So if you're giving out fear, you'll only get situations, scenarios and learnings that give you a fear. And the same with being stagnant. Because you're talking about stagnant, being stagnant, feeling stagnant, you're only going to get things coming into your life that will reiterate that stagnancy within your life. Whereby if you say you're on a plateau learning how to move forward, you'll get things coming into your life that will help you to move forward. How do I know this? Because I've done it for myself. I've done it for a whole lot of other people. However, I say to you, try it for a week. Try it for 2 weeks. Try it for 3 weeks. Try it for 4 weeks. And then by the time you've tried it for 4 weeks, you will definitely see a change in your life. You'll see a change coming in after a week if you flip every word that you say. Doesn't have to be a negative word, because really procrastinating and stagnant aren't necessarily negative words, but there are better words that you can use. I'm trying to retire but not sure if I can financially. Stress is my issue. So I would be saying, because you're saying you're trying to retire, I would be saying to the universe, I'm happy to retire. Show me the best possible time frame. Maybe you can retire from one job and then do a little hobby and earn money from a hobby, or even do, there's loads of different ways you can earn money these days. Sometimes I do mystery shopping, where you get employed, you get taken on by a company to go into their outlets and pretend you buy something and you have a write-up of your experience. So there's things like that. Lots of little different things. So if you want to retire from your job, then retire from your job. And if you haven't really got enough money, or you don't think you can manage, then you can just get something else that you'd really like to do. The other thing is, remember, If you've got a job, if you're going out on a job and you want to retire from that job, think about the money that you won't be spending. So you won't be spending the petrol money every day going to work. You might be doing it for lunches. So think about you won't be perhaps going shopping at lunchtime, you know. Think about what you won't be doing or what you won't be spending your money on, and try and work that out, because sometimes when you write it all down on paper, you can see the difference. I'll be saving £100 or £200 a month by not going to work. So there's there's £200 in your retirement pot, really. So look at things in a little different way. Instead of saying I'm looking to retire, but I'm not sure if I can financially, I would just be asking asking the universe to show you how you can live live in retirement and be okay financially. You know, when my dad died, my mum never thought she'd be able to live financially. And even when he was ill, she used to say, oh, what if I can't manage financially? But she's better off now. I mean, they don't go out so much because he's not here. But you know, it's amazing how you can work things out and tweak things and that. So if you feel retirement is the right thing for you, or maybe not being in that job, maybe you need to think of it as like, well, I don't want to be in this job anymore. What else is around, you know? So maybe get something that you don't retire actually and fully stop 100%. There's loads of different ways around that one. Sammy's saying, I have a brilliant partner. I'm moving forward with both my daughter ASD diagnosis. Yes, Sammy. Things are going for you now, aren't they? You see, sometimes we just have to work ourselves through the stuff that makes us feel not so good. But it makes us feel not so good because some of the time we're using those words that make us feel not so good. So if you can change the words that you're using to help yourself to move forward, that would be amazing. Lovely to see you too, Jerry. Hope you're well. Hey Karen. So we're just talking about the words that you use in your life, the words that keep you stuck and stagnant and stop you from moving forward. Can anybody else think of any that you use? What do you use? What else do you use that you know think you might keep yourself in a place of not moving forward? Some people say things like, oh, if I'd got more money, I'd do this, or if I'd got more time, I'd do this. So sometimes you have to understand that, you know, money and time aren't lacking. It's often that you put the lack on the money and the time. So, you know, sometimes you just need to take stock. And if you can't afford to do something if you think you can't afford to do something that you want to do, then you find something else that you can do, that you can have time for and you can have the money for, that is just, you know, doesn't cost as much as the original thing. So you can still go and do stuff without that. So sometimes finances come into things, but lack of isn't always a reason not to do something, because there's other ways around it. Oh, I do, Chris, as well. Love to hear when people are turning their lives around. It excites me so much when people take on board just tiny little ways to help themselves to change. And then once you do one thing, you get a ricochet of other things coming into your life, don't you? It's amazing. I totally agree, Chris, and well done you too. But so I'd be interested to see what else you've got. What other words you think that you use? You know, sometimes people think they're not worthy, don't they? They think they're not worthy of something. They think they're not worthy of moving forward. However, we're all worthy of everything that we get. Otherwise, we wouldn't get it. And what I say is, I say God, but you can choose your word. I say God wouldn't give me anything that I couldn't deal with. It's just the human me that thinks I can't deal with it. And if I take human me out of it and I just keep saying that God or the universe wouldn't give me anything that I can't deal with, and then I know I can deal with whatever comes into my life. Sometimes as well, other people can be a hindrance on your path. Although a lot of people try and help you and they can see things for you, it's never the things that are there for you. It's always something else or something that maybe they think is right, or they think is right for them, and they want to see you doing it, or they think something's right for you, and you try and put it in place. You'll think, all right, I'll have a go at that, but it's never right because somebody else has put it there and tried to suggest it for you. Yes, Jerry. So Jerry's just saying, I'm an overthinker. So for me, I need to ground myself and be kind to myself, such as cooking a nice meal, etc. So yeah, like pampering yourself. So when you overthink things, it's like my mum's a bit like that. She's like, oh, well, if this and what that and maybe that. And she's made up a whole story. I just tell her now to stop writing a novel. I said, stop writing a novel and tell me the facts. So if you bring yourself back to the facts that are happening in your life, and then praise yourself, yes, pamper yourself, have some nice meal, do some cooking, just to take your mind off the overthinking. But sometimes overthinking is really, really detrimental in your life, isn't it? You know, so don't write the novel before it's time to write the novel. Ifs and buts and maybes. But yeah, it's just the human in you that wants to overthink things and you know, just try and work things out that way. But sometimes we just need to stick to the facts, write the facts down. This is what's happened. This is how I feel. This is what I'm going to do. And that's how I'm going to do it. And then start to move on. And you know, it can sometimes be as cut and dried as that. Sometimes people will say to me, oh, it's all right for you, you can do it. But it's not all right for me because I still have the same feelings as all of you. And, you know, I've probably gone through most of the things that you go through, but most of mine were like in my 20s and 30s and when I was a child. So child, 20s, 30s, not much in my 40s. Where did I go for more 40s? Can't remember. And then recently, you know, family members passing away and that. So, you know, you do go through the stuff, but as you go through more of it and you become more spiritually enlightened, you find it easier to move through things. You don't hang on to them the same. Yes, Jerry. So journaling, Jerry's just brought up journaling. So yes, I need to start writing my journal again. Thanks, Jan, no problem. So journaling can help. Sometimes you need prompts to journal. Sometimes you can just journal whatever you're feeling on that day. Definitely doing 10 gratitudes in a day. So at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day, you can write 10 things that you're grateful for from the day before or from that day. And be grateful for the things that aren't so good. So be grateful for sitting here tonight, listening and seeing what other people are writing to help you to move forward. You know, things like that. Be grateful that you got up this morning. Be grateful for the air that you breathe. Be grateful to be starting out on an exciting journey of newness that you don't really know what's going to happen. You know, so a couple of you are like that. Be grateful that you've got the foresight to know that you need to start to end something to start something new. I don't ever think that people fully retire like they did years ago. Even my dad didn't. He's passed a couple of years and he was 85. But I mean, he did retire sort of towards when he started getting his Alzheimer's. Obviously, he couldn't work. But they retired at retirement age, but he still did some odd bits and bobs here and there. He never fully retired. And I don't think, like my granddad, he fully retired and he put all his effort into his garden and showing plants and that. So he still did something. And I don't believe that people just fully stop and retire. I think you still do something, but it isn't a job. I always think of my job or a job or the job that is the best job. So if you take JOB, you need to make it your joy of being. So that whatever it is that you're doing, however you're feeling, it's the joy of being in that place of JOB that makes you know that it is the right thing for you to do. And we don't always have one thing from when we leave school. We keep going. I must have had, I don't know, probably 20 jobs, 20 different jobs, I bet. But people used to say to me, oh, when you're going to settle down, have you got another job? Or are you doing something different? And I always have. I've always done something different. This is the longest time that I've done one thing. Teaching and this is the longest time that I've done one thing. And it's right, but it's not one thing, is it? Because I do all different things within my one thing. Hey, Nikki. Oh, Chris is just saying that she's doing breath work and affirmations in the morning. Make sure your affirmations are really positive. Make sure you haven't got the word can in them and things like that. Make sure they're so positive. But yeah, affirmations and mantras are really good as well. So you can have all those to line yourself up in the morning. Good evening, Georgina, as well. Yes. So all that's going on there. So thinking about the words that you use, putting different things in place to compensate for the negativity that happens from the words that you use, and also the words that you use are giving you something that they're not giving you what you need, because they're bringing to you what you're asking and saying. So you need to be asking and saying for what you want to come in, not what you've got. So you don't want what you've got. You have to let go of what you've got and ask for what you want. My dad is 85 and he still asks me when I'm going to get a proper sleep. Oh, bless him. Yes. Oh. It's strange when they get older, isn't it? I know, I mean, I spend, I do. I spend a lot of time with my mum now, but it's like role reversal. It's like I'm the mother and she's the child. She's not got Alzheimer's or anything, but some of the things I have to remind her of. And she looked at me today as if to say, "What are you talking to me like that for?" It was so funny. Oh, when am I going to get a proper job? You to get a proper job. Oh, I see now, Jerry. Yeah, but you have got a proper job. You've got the right job for you. Yeah, I started a new job last week, Jan, and so happy, says Karen. Yes, that's perfect. Look how all of you are getting better at the things that you're doing, and you're taking steps forward and you're opening up, aren't you? It takes time. You should never rush yourselves when you get a bit down or anything like that. You should never rush yourselves. You should just say, "Hey, universe, give me what I need when I need it." And it will help you to put things into place and perspective as well. Yes, Nikki, we've got to be, haven't we? Yes. So, has anybody got anything else they want to write? What words do you use that, about your condition, about your life, about yourself, that you think might be keeping you stuck? We've gone off on a tangent. You can guarantee that with me. I always go off on a tangent. Yes, let me have a drink. I'm thirsty tonight. I think I had too much salt in my soup. I like salt, and I know I shouldn't eat too much of it. But I make soup and I always put salt in it when I'm cooking, and then extra salt when I'm eating it. Letting go is hard, Georgina, but once you start doing it, it's like it feeds your goodness. So you start to let go in tiny, small steps, as we've said, and then you start to see a different side to yourself. So you kind of get the bug for wanting to let go more. So it's only the initial first, say, month of letting go that is the most difficult. Because after that, then you start to, if you're doing it correctly, then you start to feel that positivity and you feel different and you know what you're letting go from is right. So you start to open up and you do start to feel different. So the letting go is hard at the beginning, but if you talk to yourself correctly and you use the right language, then it's easier. I love my job. It's just, I had a near-death experience and a lot of health issues from that, and I can't do my job as well as I used to, so I'm trying to come to terms with that. Yeah, so you're doing your best, you're giving your all, and you need to celebrate what you can do, which it sounds like you are doing, and to thank the universe for your near-death experience. So instead of carrying the near-death experience and the issues, is say thank you for my near-death experience and everything that it's shown me. I am now ready to move forward with it. Show me the abundance. Yeah, I'm using a simple affirmation of I'm happy and healthy. I listen to audiobooks. Let me read something to you. Oh, have you, Georgina? Oh. You will be free. I can show you how to be free from mental torture. Listen, I was listening to an audio book today, and I wrote this down, and this is what it said in there. It said, I only desire all that which infinite intelligence desires through me. I only desire all that which infinite intelligence desires through me. I claim that which is mine by divine right and under grace is the perfect way. Don't you think that's lovely? I only desire all that which infinite intelligence desires through me. I claim that which is mine by divine right and under grace is the perfect way. I love that. I printed it out. I just looked at it on my PC, but I printed it out. I just think it's so lovely. And I think it just kind of hits you in your heart somewhere. Yeah, I do. So I keep thinking about that. So I know that I will keep saying that. That's meant to be for a reason for me to hear that in that audio book. It is lovely. It is lovely. I should probably put it up on my page, then you can copy it. Oh, I can copy it in here. Shall I copy it into here for you? If you want to check it out. Don't use it as your own because I've copied it out of a book. Let me see. Copy. There you go, look. So if you want to use that, I've printed it out and I've got it on a slip of paper somewhere. I've got lots of things somewhere, and you can copy that now yourselves, put it in your phone or something and have a look at it. So I don't think that I want to talk about anything more to do with words and that, not tonight. Don't forget that I will be starting Realign to Your True Self again in November on the 1st. I know some of you have got your names down, and I give away a 30-minute thank you, Judy. My mental health has improved immensely over the last 5 years, but recently a very small thing happened and a childhood issue came flooding into the present, caught me by surprise. You know, there's always something there, Jerry, lurking. And it takes an action in your life to trigger. And you've gone all through for however long, not having that trigger, and now's the time, because when you get that trigger, it means it's your turn to release it. It's your time to release it. Yeah, that's really good. So I give away 30-minute call with me on these sessions tonight, these sessions this week. And I'd like to give Chris, if you want a session with me, Chris Morgan, you know, you can choose when you have it, and we can do anything you like. We can talk about this sort of stuff or whatever you want anyway, to help you. So if you just let me know that you want to have a session, then take care, Nikki. So, Chris, if you just let me know that you want it, then other than that, otherwise I should pop it over till tomorrow and do 2 tomorrow. Take care, Nikki, too. Are you still there, Chris? Anyway, I'll message you after and see. So thank you all for being here, and you're welcome, Amy. And I shall be on at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah. 1 o'clock tomorrow and 1 o'clock Friday. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. So take care, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for being here. Okay, Chris, I got that. Just message me a couple of times that you're available and we'll book that in.